So you finally noticed my shirt is a Poco shirt. And probably you already know that it's the launch of another new Poco phone. And you guessed it right, it's the Poco X3 Pro. It's already here in my hand and come on, let's unbox it. So hi guys, it's me Mitch002 of Xiaomi Review and welcome back to my channel. You finally saw the unboxing of the Poco X3 Pro and I can say that this almost had the same design as its predecessor, the Poco X3. Except that there's only one indicator for you to identify that it's a Poco X3 Pro. You can see at the back on the side it's matte finish, but on the center it's glossy finish. That's the only difference between this and the Poco X3. Well, probably you already know that this comes with the Snapdragon 860 chip, which is the latest from Qualcomm and probably the most powerful 4G chip right now. It's a 2.96 GHz octa-core 7nm chip, which is probably one of the fastest processors for gaming. Now, did you know that this phone comes in 3 colors? It has the Phantom Black, the Frost Blue, and of course the Metal Bronze. Which one is your favorite? There's only 2 variants for this phone. Either go for the 628 gigs of storage or you go for the 8256. I guess the 8256 is probably more attractive and both of them are UFS 3.1 ready. I'll give you a surprise for this one. For Antutu rating, it got a 470,000 points, which is a very mind-blowing for upper mid-range, and it's already here inside the Poco X3 Pro. Looking at more benchmark, you can see here at iTutu it got a 230,000 points, and at DRM Info it got a level 1 wideband security level, meaning you can watch HD on this phone. Now speaking of HD, this phone comes with a 6.67 IPS LCD FHD+. And did you know that this one comes also with a Corning Gorilla Glass 6, which is very tough. And it is also coupled with a 240Hz touch sampling rate and 120Hz of screen refresh rate. How about that? It has a 3D curved plastic back together with a plastic frame which rounds out the outer design of this phone. Now let me check some videos here on YouTube and I can say that watching videos on this phone is really a nice experience. And did you know that this phone comes with a dual speaker high-res audio? It is really immersive and gives me a good experience while watching my favorite show. Even though this phone is not yet an AMOLED, I can say that the IPS LCD on this one is probably one of the more premium ones in the market. Now, I told you that I have a good experience on this phone. Why not let's try it out on gaming? Playing Call of Duty, I can put everything to the max. And really, I can say the gameplay is so nice. And there's still a little bit of frame drops. I can never say that it's really frame drop free, but playing this game, the smoothness of the 120 Hz is really very smooth, and I really love the experience playing the games on this phone. The dual speakers on this phone really brings the game up a notch on the audio department. Now this phone also comes with a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, which is very responsive. Check it out. Not bad. It also comes with an NFC and deploys the liquid cooling technology 1.0 plus. After playing the game for roughly 2 hours, I can see that it's not really that hot. But you can always use a phone cooling attachment just like the Black Shark cooler. This phone rocks a 48MP 1.79 aperture together with a 6P lens as its main camera. It also has an 8MP ultra-wide lens, 2MP macro lens, and 2MP depth sensor, together with a 20MP front camera which has an aperture of 2.2. How about let's check some pictures from this phone. Even that the camera on this phone is nerfed down from 64 to 48 from the Poco X3, I can see it took some nice shots outdoors, and I can see it's punchy, it's bright, and it's very sharp. Taking some indoor low light shot is also pretty good on this phone. How about let's check some photos from the front camera. Well, I can say outdoors, it's pretty bright. It's pretty nice, taking some outdoor shots. And some indoor shots, I can say using the portrait mode, it's really nice. Though at some corner edges on my face, I can say that some of them are blurred out. But nevertheless, it's still good. So I recorded 2 videos on this phone using the 1080p 30fps, which has the stable mode, and the 4K 30fps, which doesn't have the stable mode. Check it out. So this is the quality of the stabilized mode of the Poco X3 Pro at 1080p 30fps. Look, it's quite stable. Let me try to shake it a bit. Pretty stable. So guys, I'm recording right now at 4K 30fps using the Poco X3 Pro. And I can say the image is a lot sharper than the 1080p version, but it's not that stable. It's a little bit more jittery than the 1080p variant. Yeah, I can say that the image is nice if you have a gimbal. Well, I can say that both are good. Though the 4K 30fps definitely has better definition, it's more punchier, but it's a little bit more jittery compared to the 1080p and 30fps. But of course, you can use a gimbal to maximize this phone. How about checking some front vlogging capability? So guys, this is how it looks like when I'm vlogging using my Poco X3 Pro, and I can say that the camera is quite near to my face, and yeah, it's almost a hand distance based on I have already hyperextended my arms, and yep, and it's still so near. Well, it's pretty nice for a very up close vlogging experience, but overall probably I'll need a selfie stick just to extend it a little bit further. That's just my opinion. Well, still good, though I can say that it's just a little bit too close to my face. That's all I can say. Now guys, probably you already noticed that the battery on this phone is also nerfed. From 6,000 mAh on the Poco X3, this time around it's just 5,160 for this phone. It also has a 33 watts charging capability, which I already drained this phone down to 20% and I charged it back up to 100%. It took me 1 hour and 8 minutes and running at 30 watts. Normal usage, this phone lasted me more than a day, roughly a day and a half before hitting the charging dock, and PC Mark gave it an 12 hours of screen on time, which is probably for me not bad. it is such a performer, both battery and of course on multitasking. Now guys, what can you say about this phone? For me, I like its texture, though it's a little bit more heavier, and the heaviness doesn't really translate into a bigger battery, which I think they could have put the 6,000 milliampere hours back on this one. But of course, there is always a little bit of drawback when you use a bigger processor, a faster processor. Sometimes the battery is compensated. So what can I say about this phone? This Poco X3 Pro, I can say that it's really nice. It's really a performer, both gaming, camera, and multitasking for daily use. This is something that you should consider as your next daily driver. It's more of a flagship killer for me. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you don't miss any future reviews here on my channel. So do stay safe, and I hope to see you on the next episode.